Good morning, it's March 28th. It's a Monday, so that means a walk along the creek. And it's about -3, so I will have to watch out for ice. A lot of sirens in the distance, which is always a bit concerning. I don't know why there's a vehicle parked right in front of our house running. A lot of sirens. So we will head to the dike and see what's what today. See what the ice situation is. I think that's a fire engine. I don't know if you can hear the sirens the way I can or not. So let's see. Kickstarter continues. Just under $650 to go, Canadian. 94%. 189 backers, so the next backer will be 190. That could be you, if you want to help make this anthology a reality, featuring third-year guests of my podcast, the World Shapers, worldshapers.com. Science fiction and fantasy authors. Be the third one I've done. And it's at tinyurl.com/shapersofworlds3, numeral 3, if you want to check it out. It's a lot of sirens. Enough sirens to make you want to check the news. But they all go down Albert Street, so they're fading now. They just went by Albert Street, so it seemed really close. Looks like we're pretty clear on ice here. So yeah, the Kickstarter's going on, and hopefully it goes up again today. I would love to have it funded in the next 2 or 3 days. Love to have it funded today, which could happen if somebody took one of the bigger backers rewards, like the Zoom chat with Walter John Williams. He's my featured author today, because that's set at $400 Canadian. One has gone. There are still 3 available. And there's other authors as well for whom those are available. There's the poems from Jane Yolen, which I thought would sell better than they have. Not sell, but be claimed better than they have. So we're going to be following this dog up onto the dike, could be my guess. And then, of course, I have a ton of Shadowpaw Press stuff to do. I'm finalizing Stay and Do a Tarot, which will be the first 2 books out under my Shadowpaw Press Reprise imprint, where I publish previously published new editions of previously published books for which the rights have reverted to the authors. Do a Tarot is a science fiction novel. Stay is a middle grade novel in verse, which is quite lovely, by Catherine Lawrence, a noted Saskatchewan poet. It was published by Kato Books, which went out of business. They had also published my Shards of Excalibur series. Oh, look at this, it's quite cleared off since last week. And Do a Tarot was originally published by Bundoran Press, which also published my Peregrine Rising duology. Look at that, the creek has water, not ice. It has ice floating on water, but it has water. It's -3 right now, so it is below freezing, but it's going to +5, I think, today. So the snow, she is a melting. really gone in many places, like most of the way along the creek here, which is cool. Let's see what the puddles are like when I get over into Les Sherman Park, though. There was a huge puddle there I couldn't even get through last time. I had to walk around it, and the snow was deeper than it looked, so that wasn't fun. Soon that tree will be in blossom. Well, relatively soon. Not tomorrow. Actually foam, I think, on top of the creek, which is formed when the water runs over the weir down under the dam, which I stopped and took a look at on Friday's walk. There's quite a bit of water coming over the weir there. But yes, those thin ice signs really apply now. It's about as thin as ice gets. I am enjoying walking on bare ground, I admit. Looks like there's more snow on the dike on the other side, but we're not going over there. I wonder why it hasn't melted better there. Less traffic, maybe? I don't know. It's completely still frozen over there. Comes another dog. 2 of them. Anyway, we're going to go on the path. We'll see what it's like. We'll stop and take the traditional look up the creek, now with water. Down the creek. You can actually see that there's a current here because of this foam that's drifting by. There's another dog. It's 3 this morning already. Make good time today if it stays as open as this. It'll be more like walking in this summer. Pick up my pace. Oh, there's still ice. Barely even a patch of it, and I slipped on it. Almost have walked in runners today, I think. Maybe tomorrow. Still lots of snow down in the waterfall park because it's so shaded. Oh, it's quite flooded down there too. Down there. It's just a little tiny creek, but it's quite flooded down there. try walking down there closer to the river yet. Walking briskly with that dog leaving me behind. Thought I'd be catching him. All diamonds, still some ways from being used. Could catch him if I walked as fast as I'm capable of, but that would interfere with my talking. I do have long legs, but they have pretty long legs, whoever that is. I can tell if it's a kid or a woman. Walking fast anyway. Shouldn't be a kid. School and all that. That's well flooded too. Now what are they doing? It's playing, I think. A lot of water down there. Well, ice and water at the moment, but veritable lake. Another new resolution is to make sure I do at least some fiction writing every day. It's too easy to let that slide while I'm doing all this publishing stuff. And I hate that. I'm unhappy when I'm not writing. And I'm not really writing right now, so I will make that happen. It's not like I don't have things to write. A million ideas just sitting, waiting. I might do another Kickstarter after this one, just to fund a book of my own. I've never tried that approach to kickstarting or to funding a novel. And now that I know what's involved with the Kickstarter, I'm not frightened of that process. A little worried about not funding, which would be embarrassing, but hardly the end of the world. If you don't fund, you're no worse off than you were, except for the time you put into it. And it wouldn't be a very high. I'd probably put it at, I don't know, $2,500 or $3,000. Probably to do a fourth book in the Masks of Agrima series, because it's actually my most popular trilogy, written as E.C. Blake. geese over there. The other thing would be the 4th book in the World Shaper series. So I'm going back and forth on that. The 4th World Shapers book would continue something that's more recent than Masks. If one worked, I'd probably do the other one too. And then I might do many more after that if I started to have success kickstarting novels. It might be my whole new approach. Don't know. That's not really enough money, but you set it low and hopefully you overfund. And I'm not frightened of the process of publishing them myself either, through Shadowpaw Press or just on my own, so I have all the pieces. So I have to act and see if anyone cares that I write books. Sometimes I don't think so. One of the occupational hazards of having a podcast where you talk to authors who are way more successful than you are, you think, what do they got that I ain't got? Good morning, Kirk in Vancouver. It's a lovely sunny day, creeping up toward the freezing mark, and then above by this afternoon. The creek is high and liquid. It wasn't liquid last Monday when I walked along here. But I think it was on Friday. I looked from the Albert Street Bridge. It looked like it had melted open, so the lake will take a little longer, but pretty soon it'll suddenly be water instead of ice. Maybe by this Friday when I go over there. At least the path is ice-free. That's the turning point for my walking. All right, ooh, sun's bright on the water. So let's take a look to the east. See how high the creek is. And look to the west. See how liquid the creek is. Few geese, ducks. Those are ducks, actually, I think. Some geese and ducks. Now, let's see what that big puddle is like. That was over by the ball diamond that I had to find a way around last time. Hopefully it's gone. Take off my hat. I'm getting warm enough. The sun. Not much wind this morning either. Now there's ice to be avoided. But at least there's grass I can walk in now on the side here. Skating rink. Willows. It clings a long time, the snow, despite the warm temperatures. It gets eaten away by the bare patches, where suddenly it's a lot warmer on the grass. But the thicker snow takes a while because it refrigerates itself, so only the top layer is melting, and down underneath it's still below freezing. So it takes a while. I noticed out on the actual prairie, farmland, looked like it's all brown and open. But here in sheltered areas is where you still see the snow. Quite a bit of it still. Oh, who's that? Good morning. Mohammed, good morning. Hey, that's a nasty bit, and no way around it. I'll just have to carefully cross it. Very smooth ice. Okay, well, that doesn't bode well for the potential big puddle around the corner up here. That always makes the horizon go crooked when I pointed at something like that. So the ground does not actually slope sharply to the left as it currently appears to on the screen. Yeah, not looking good pathwise here. I may have to adjust my trajectory, because I think I am cut off around the corner. Might be able to go across the grass, but that's a little fraught because you never know. It looks like it should be able to walk across it, and then you find lots of water in it too. I think it's worse than last week. Still, the grass looks open. More ice here to watch out for. I can, of course, go up that way. Yeah. Well, I'm certainly not going down the path. So the only question is going through the grass a good idea? It has water in it too that you can't necessarily see. I don't know how deep that is. Okay, well, we won't go that far. I'll take this path and go up a little further to the north then. So that'll be the end of the creek for the moment. Putting my hat back on. The air's nippier than I thought. We'll go this way. Maybe walk up to 13th and back from up there. Cuts off a pretty big chunk here doing this. Probably the grass is all right, but I've been fooled before. And you discover there's more water in it than you can see. So what we'll do is sort of get the same distance in, walk down this way. I guess I could go down Pasco. Maybe I'll do that. Go down Pasco and then go back to the creek on the other side without going through the puddles in the park. There's another dog. Morning. Solar panels in that garage. Saskatchewan Express in front of us, Performing Arts School and touring group. Apartment building behind that. Yeah, this will work out about the same if I go down here and then go down the other side of the park. This is Pasco Street. Here, there's hardly any snow to be seen. It's all over there. Here's the wind. It is quite sharp, so I'm glad I put the hat back on. It's the dome of the legislature poking up over there. Louvain over there, and then airport buildings. Well, not really airport buildings quite there. Well, I guess they are sort of. Airports are more over that way. Various industrial buildings over there. FedEx is over there, for example. And there's a curling rink. The last snow to go will be the snow that was piled up when they cleared things. Like that pile there, it's got a long ways to melt. Taking a look at the creek here. We don't very often cross the Pasco Street Bridge. There you go. The creek is quite high. The wind is quite strong. I think I said earlier there wasn't much wind. I was entirely wrong about that. Sometimes I walk over there. Save that for another creek walk, a different creek walk. Go to the sidewalk on this side, which I don't walk along very often. Particularly well cleared, right there anyway. Over there. So maybe I'll stay on the street. For this block. Garbage day, they're picking it up down there. Recycling on Wednesday. Woof woof. Woof woof woof. Alright, maybe we'll try the sidewalk now. well, who hasn't been clearing their sidewalks during the winter, if there's still ice on them now. Although, there's a period of time when there's much slipperier on the cleared sidewalks than on the ones that still have a bit of snow on them. Because the snow melts and runs across the concrete and freezes into a thin sheet, whereas if you have some snow, it's at least rough, although that doesn't look very good. So we'll avoid it as much as possible. I love this. You can crunch these edges of ice here. Well, some of them crunch easier than others. Oh, there's ice that's almost invisible in the shade. And of course, coming up to the footbridge I crossed earlier, it's on the other side over there. See if I've gone up any on the Kickstarter by the time I get back. You just never know. It can seem frozen for a long time and then you suddenly get a bunch of pledges. They often seem to come in all around the same time. I don't know what causes that. Certain time of the day and different time zone maybe, like Eastern time zone 2 hours ahead of us, so it might be lunchtime and they're looking around at Kickstarters. Decide to kick in. That's just a theory. Or a hypothesis, really. Here's the footbridge. Very wide road here because of the way it's set up to allow turns. Like this huge gaping mouth. That patch. Look at the watery creek. Sheldon Williams Collegiate is right down that way. High school my daughter would have gone to if she'd gone to the local high school, but she went to Luther instead. Let's avoid that patch entirely. A woodpecker. Been hearing those for quite a while. It was still very, very cold when I heard the first woodpecker. I've seen a robin, at least my wife saw a robin. I took her word for it. I think I'll go up this way. Come down, look in the right direction. I don't know what confuses the gimbal sometimes. Nice clear sidewalk here. Might walk all the way up. Oh! Watch out for the driveways. Might walk all the way up to Regina Avenue here. Or not. I think there's another road I can still go over to Elphinstone, which might be more interesting. Although this is more direct, probably. Right angles. I don't know. The other one curves, but maybe it's actually shorter. Not sure. Good morning. Mohammed? Oh, I already said good morning. Thought I saw a new one there. Well, good morning again. Alright, yeah, we'll go over here instead of going straight up. No, you know what? Let's go this way. When I think about that, there's just a big parking lot I have to walk through if I go that way. So let's stick to this direction. There's a bit of Sheldon Williams there. Collegiate. So down, did they think I was a cop with a radar gun? I know. We can maybe go around this little corner here. Is there a sidewalk there though? Doesn't really look like it. Oh, there's a pile of snow. That'll take a while to melt. That's still van there. Oh, there's some green grass. It happens to be artificial, but it's very green. No mowing, so there is that. Split level. Sign of the 70s. Newer ones here. This will be Regina Avenue right in front of us. The route to the airport, should you wish to go there. Of course, I managed to find the only intersection with some sort of blockade on it. Must be potholes, broken pavement, both. Yeah, pavement's just kind of crumbling there. Oh, they must have dug a hole around here, so there's a big pile of dirt, gravel. Oh, that's nice and clear. Pick up the pace again. Hopefully that light stays green until I get to it. Or at least leaves me time to walk. I think it will. It hasn't changed yet. Yeah, I can still make that. See, there's a path down there, but not ready for me to take yet. So we'll just stick to Regina Avenue, down to the footbridge. Or rejoin the path when we get down here. No, I guess that's goes back the other way. So no, we'll just walk along Regina Avenue. Comes another guy with a dog. Oh, what's that? Hi, Greg. I can't quite read that because of the sun. Alright, the Saskatchewan winter is ending soon. This winter is ending. It's over. Looking at the long range forecast. There'll be another one along in a very few months. This was a cold one this winter. And quite a lot of snow too. But it varies. You'll have, oh, please stay out of the dirt when you go by me. Thank you. Some winters are very little snow. There's always some. Some are a lot. Some are warmer, some are colder. Weather. Can't live with it, can't live without it. Back in the 80s, there was a winter when it got up to like 80 degrees in April, Fahrenheit. That was at the time of the big 80s drought. Tumbleweeds, the whole bit. Drifts of soil against the fences. I took pictures of it when I was at the Wave and Review. That's probably the warmest, least snowy winters I can remember, and they were in the 80s. But it's hard to remember weather. You always think, oh, this is so unusual. And then if you look at the records, you'll find, well, no. It was like this in 1937 or whatever. These days, of course, whenever it's a bit warmer than usual, you're supposed to think climate change, but it's still mostly just weather. Because when it's really, really cold, you can't have it both ways. When it's warmer than normal, you can't say climate change. Then when it's colder than normal, say, well, that's just weather. But that's the approach that seems to be taken generally. Weather and climate are two different things. Any given year, you'll set some cold records and some warm records. At least around here. We have an extreme climate, of course. Ooh, doesn't look good. There's a board there that's sagging. It's not right over the creek, which would be more concerning. But all right, one more look at the melted creek to the west. The east. I think I'll walk back along the dike just because, even though I walked on it already, just because it's clear and it's a pleasure to walk on. Bare dirt. And it's not mud either. Partly because it's still frozen, but I think it's mostly cleared up here, dried up. I know, it's mostly frozen, I think. It'll be muddier later. So this is a good time to do it. Maybe I'll go down a different set of stairs instead of going all the way down to the ones I normally go down. Or I could go even further. No need for that. We'll take the stairs up here. Go down to this tree, which will be blooming, as I said, before you know it. It's a very pretty tree in the spring. Changing hands so I can hold on to the railing here. One of the simplest things you can do to live a long and healthy life is don't go downstairs without taking the railing, especially when there's a huge patch of ice at the bottom of them, as it turns out there is here. There we go. Safe and sound. I've been in this house. It's very cool. 50s house, I think. Trees there. That's a big spruce next to me. Lots of big spruces around here. I guess the pearl spruce is spruces and not spruce. Although spruce would be a good word. It's a whole forest of spruce. Actually, I think spruce is its own plural. Spruce. There are big spruce around here. Give her spruce. Spruce. Minor icy patches, nothing to write home about. Ooh, I love this kind of ice. It's just fun for it to go. You're welcome. It's hard to point at anything at the ground with the gimbal, so I didn't bother trying to point out the ice I was crunching, but I hope you heard it. It's like bubble wrap. It's just fun to crunch. Captain Crunch, they call me. Or they have this last winter. Somebody did. Crunching through the snow. If you recognize the Giver Spruce reference, then you are A, from Saskatchewan, and B, lived here in the 80s. Because that goes back to Grant Devine, Premier Grant Devine. And where he got it from, I don't know. I'd never heard it until he said it. Careful on some ice there. Okay, now we're on Metallic, so we'll be stopping at my usual stop sign stopping point on this walk. The Bavarian house with the turret that I like so much. I like their entrance there. Never been in that one. How long has this been? 51 minutes, so pretty normal length here. Forgot to mention again that I have a new podcast episode up. Richard Polinelli, Dragon Award nominee for Best Science Fiction Novel and author of several novels, short stories, and a podcaster too. I've been on his podcast, now he's been on mine. Leopold, I just let them get a little further ahead of me so that they don't think I'm talking to them as I continue to talk. Next Sunday's podcast, because I'm going to do one just a week after this one this time, will be, because of the Kickstarter still going, will be New York Times bestselling author Sherry Lane Kenyon. So I'm looking forward to talking to her. I actually reached out to her when I first started the podcast and didn't have any luck, but this time I did. So I'll be talking to her tomorrow, and that conversation will go live next Sunday. While the Kickstarter continues, maybe it'll scare up a few more backers. Here's my stop sign. So again, check out the Kickstarter at tinyurl.com/shapersofworlds3, numeral 3. Oops. Sorry about that. Let's get that back before I say goodbye. That's a sour note to end on. What happened was I caught the microphone cord with my glove, and the gimbal said, "Oop, I'm not paying any attention to that. Come on, turn around." There we go. Okay, as I was saying, check out the Kickstarter at tinyurl.com/shapersofworlds3. And I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.